All right, all right. Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to another live stream. Coming to you live from the backyard with some wind. Hope everybody's doing well out there today. Hopefully the connection isn't too bad. I remembered to turn off the Wi-Fi this time before I started the live stream. It's a little windy out here, so we'll see how that affects the live stream as far as connectivity. But I'm pretty excited though because there's no rain yet, although it's supposed to be raining starting from, I believe, yesterday for the next like 3 days. But there's a break in the rain right now, so it'll give us a chance to get our buddy Jason's 151 TC all fixed. So it's been a minute since we've done a live stream, just been busy, work, and that's pretty much it. And hanging out with the gal, and just been kind of grumpy these days, so I've been kind of not in the mood for live streams, but we're doing better. And as usual, gonna go ahead and wait a little bit to give everybody a chance to join and see what we got going on today. No, that's fine, you can close it. Yeah. So but yeah, hopefully everybody's doing good today. Again, happy Monday. It's 1:22 p.m. my time here in California. Looks like we got Andre 4224. Hello. Happy Monday to you. Welcome to today's live stream. It's going to be a good one, although it's always they're always good live streams, especially when we're able to do one. Just grab some tools, get ready while everybody joins. Although I do know that it's Monday and everybody has work and school and so it's all good. We got Rubbles in the house. Much love to Rubbles. Happy Monday. Says bros in his backyard. I sure am. Although I do have a new spot now to store chainsaws and equipment and everything, but still got to get moved in, but at least we secured the location. So anyhow, so we got Andre 4224 is asking, what are you going to do? So we're going to go ahead and replace the piston and cylinder on Jason's 151 TC. So this chainsaw came to me for some port work to get ported, but I accidentally made a mistake and I went a little too hard on it. So now we gotta fix our oopsies and give it a new cylinder, and I'm just gonna put in a new piston as well. So it's all part of the game. Mistakes happen, but the great thing is we'll fix the problem. So we're gonna do that today. Hey, we got the man Aaron Lynch in the house. If you guys don't know who Aaron is, badass saw builder, specializes in porting, but he does everything else, general repairs, services. Good buddy of mine. I'm very grateful and blessed to be able to call him a buddy. It's somebody that I started watching and I look up to since I got into just chainsaws and the porting aspect of things, and just a solid good dude. So if you guys have any interest in checking him out, check him out sometime. You can find him on Instagram, YouTube, and you can just see what the man can do to a saw, man, because that dude, he's a bad mother. But much love to you, Aaron, man. Thank you for joining. I know you're a very busy man, but hopefully you're doing good, man, and thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Aaron says, just a guy. Well, sure, okay, but anyways. So no, Aaron's the man. So I call him the man, but anyways. We got Carolyn Long in the house, says I liked and subbed. Carolyn, much love to you. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining us and for the love and support. And we also got Christy Smith in the house. Rubble says, what's good, cuh? What up, what up? We got Low Nuts Daniel says hello, hello, hello. We also got, I don't know how to pronounce that, but they're asking, hey, what's the time? Hello, happy Monday. So currently right now it is 1:26 p.m. my time here in California. And Aaron says chainsaw nerd here. I think that's the best way to describe it and classify us, man. We're just chainsaw geeks. I mean, nerds, whatever you want to call it. You know, even though for me personally, these, you know, saws kind of throw me for a loop sometimes, even though I've been doing it for a little while now. It's always something new, I feel like. You know, it's always something new. Anyways, let me just grab some more tools, just make sure I have everything here. It looks like I got everything that I need right now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need this piston ring compressor, but I grabbed the smaller one just in case, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be this one here. But yeah, so what's going on with everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, it's been a little while now since we've done a live stream, but just been a little busy with work. I used to do saws full time, but it got a little slow on my end, and then a little bit of a life transition, so had to take a little pause on working on saws, but I'm getting back into the swing of things. Had to pick up a new socket today to get the flywheel nut off of this chainsaw. For my impact wrench, it's a DeWalt, but really I'm Team Milwaukee, so this is just what I had currently when I started up my little shop. All right, let's go ahead and get this going. We got Colton asking, what do you mean you went too hard on the saw? So basically, when I ported it, I just made a mistake somewhere where I think it's, I'm not really sure what I did wrong. I think I just went too hard on opening up the ports, and I think I accidentally lowered the port a little bit, the exhaust port, so it's free porting too much, I believe. I really don't know exactly what went wrong. I just know something went wrong when I ported it. And that's my fault because I always follow, well, I shouldn't say always. I do my best to follow the less is more rule. And in this case, I did not. So something happened, and now it's just messed up. So at this point, instead of trying to figure out and correct the issue, because there's a point where, you know, once you screw up a cylinder, there's really no going back. I've only been porting for a little bit. It's not, I wouldn't even say it's my specialty. It's just something that I can do. But, you know, so this 151 was my 6th saw that I ever did porting on. Everything else I was successful with. Still running good to this day, holding strong. But this one I got a little too carried away on the grind. So, but once I take off the cylinder and I take everything out, we'll be able to see what exactly is going on, possibly to see if it's maybe free porting. But it's just something that I don't really know exactly really where I made a mistake. I just know that it didn't come out good. It didn't come out right. So, but it's all a learning process. Let me take off the clutch first. You know, but the thing is, if you're going to be doing stuff like this, porting saws, whether it's for a friend or a customer, even if you do everything correctly, I mean, accidents happen, mistakes happen, but the most important thing is you have to be ready to address the issue and make it right. You can't just say, well, I don't know what happened. And, you know, especially if you want to run a good service, you got to make sure you take care of your customer and fix your mistake the best way possible. So in this case, new piston cylinder, which is nice because now that I work at my new job, it's called Central Valley Builders. We sell power equipment there, so they're a Steel and Husqvarna dealer. So I have access to parts. I get a discount. So for this piston and cylinder kit, and I got a new base gasket just in case. I only paid, I think, maybe $65 for everything. At the local power equipment shop, that's an actual just strictly power equipment place, they were going to charge me $75 plus tax, so probably closer to maybe $85. So either way, I get a really good discount there. And it definitely was a 10 mil. Okay. But it's okay. You know, the great thing is, I'm not saying you shouldn't be careful either way, but you should still, you know, do your best to be careful. Thankfully, we do run a good service. We treat all of our customers right. So when things like this happen, even though it's not something that you want to say like, oh man, I'm sorry I screwed up your chainsaw. But the thing is, they're patient, they're understanding, and just in any business, I think that's how you should keep it. You know, keep a good relationship with your customers and just take care of them and treat them right. So that way when something does happen, you know, they're a little less bummed out, I would say. But then again, if we didn't treat our customers right, nobody would show up. Rody Desai says, highway lawsuit to be filed on you. Don't know what that means. Colton Ryan says, like your channel, man. Just was curious what happened with the saw. No hate. And what's a good reputable place to buy a 044? No, Colton, you're all good, man. You know, it's I didn't take it as hate at all. I really don't take offense to anything other than just like weird stuff, you know, that our viewers have to see, like just like inappropriate comments and things like that. But to answer your question, reputable place, I mean, I would always check on Marketplace, somewhere local that you can actually go and check out the saw. And if you do go check out a saw locally, I would definitely recommend taking some tools with you just so you can look inside the cylinder, check out the piston, try to start it and run it just to see what kind of condition it is. eBay is also a good place to buy. It's just, the only thing is you really have to take their word if they say, oh, it's a good running saw, it's in good condition. Because even though eBay's insured, so if something were to happen and the product doesn't get to you in the condition that they say, they have a good like insurance policy where basically you get your money back if it's not how the description says it is. Or you really, those two things, Marketplace, or if you know anybody that has saws, collect saws. Sometimes you can go into a power equipment shop and if maybe they'll have something laying around. So like the guy here in where I live here in Napa, he's a saw collector. He has a lot of saws. He's claiming to have 200 T's in boxes still, brand new boxes, or brand new in boxes. I'm a real fan. I'm a fan of the Echo CS3000s. He says he has, I think, a couple of those still in boxes, brand new, and who knows what else he has. So you got to just kind of get in with those kind of guys or people and just basically establish a good relationship, and then maybe they might hook you up a little bit. Not saying they'll give you a good price, but they might lead you in the right direction or point you in the right direction. Someone says, hello from Russia. Hello, hello. Much love to you guys. Aaron says, don't sweat it. I wrecked a 500i cylinder. Big mistake. That one, and things happen, guys. I mean, you could, you know, mistakes happen. Sometimes, for various reasons, maybe I was in a hurry, or I just wasn't paying attention, or I just wanted to push it and I didn't follow my rule of less is more. And now I'm seeing that you really got to stick true to those kind of rules. Because in this case, thankfully, I didn't necessarily lose money. Well, I did, actually, I did. But it was only $60. If I would have ordered it from the other guy, it would have been closer to 80, $85, maybe a little bit more. Or if I would have ordered it on eBay, it would have been, I mean, they overcharge on eBay, so it would have been over $100. But either way, lesson learned. Be more careful next time, and stick true to the less is more rule. But like Aaron says, and I remember that he ruined that 500i cylinder, and that one's way more expensive than this one. So thankfully it wasn't a 500i or something bigger, because then I would have been out a lot more. Let me go grab a hammer. I'm excited to use my new center punch here, and let me just go grab that real quick. We got Camille in the house. Hello, happy Monday. Christopher is asking, hey, do you have any tips on working on cars? That I don't. Well, actually, just take your time, be patient, get a good understanding of what you're trying to do research if you don't know how to go about whatever repair you're doing or whatever work. But I don't really have any tips as far as, because I don't work on cars currently. So, but I would just say do some research, especially going into something that you've never done before, and just take your time, look at things. Take pictures and videos if you have to, so you can refer back to them, and go from there. So 1 second, guys. Let me go grab a hammer. You can come out. Hi, buddy. Good boy. We got my buddy Nash out here. I'll show you guys Nash. His cone is off now. He doesn't have to wear the cone. Nash. He's my girlfriend's sister's dog, but he's my boy. He's a chocolate lab. I think he's got some pit in him. But that's our buddy right there. All right. Let's go ahead and get it going before the rain before the rain shows up. There we are. All right. But yeah, hopefully everybody's doing good, man. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Safe weekend, I should say. Fun. Or if you just relaxed, maybe you worked all week and you're relaxing. Let me grab. Feels nice to be working on saws again, but just been getting adjusted to the life changes. Just moving, living situation and whatnot. But it's all been good. It's all been working out. Have a lot of support, family, my girlfriend and her family, My YouTube family is always great. Always great. Really appreciate everybody. And another thing too, so Jason actually, this was sitting in storage at my buddy's yard in his container, which I still need to go out and get some more saws that are still in storage. But he was already there because they work together sometimes. He runs a tree service company. Well, they both do, Jason and my buddy Victor. And he's like, hey, he's like, I'm actually gonna be going up to Napa. He's like, so, you know, I can bring you that chainsaw. And I was like, right on, man. So he did me a huge favor. So he's a good dude. And when he showed up, I just to kind of look out for him too, and because he's a really good guy, really good dude. I hooked him up with a brand new bar for his 201. So I hooked him up with a 16-inch light bar for his chainsaw and an air filter for his new 500i just to have as an extra. And, you know, he was really appreciative of that. But that's what I'm saying. You know, you got to, even if you're not making mistakes, you know, you got to treat your peeps good. They look out for you, you got to look out for them. So and the great thing is, this saw I already cleaned for him, his saw, so it doesn't need any cleaning, maybe just a little touch up. I also did a muffler mod on his saw. Really nice muffler mod. It came out really good. I can't wait to hear it. Should have drained the gas out of this thing. It's all right. I don't have a drain pan right now. Hello. How you doing? Good. All right. So that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and take the muffler off, and that way I can also show you guys what I did for the muffler mod. I had really when I first did it, I had an idea of how I was gonna do it, but it was my first time modding a 151 muffler, so I didn't really have a plan of attack. I was just kind of winging it, to be honest, but it came out really good. Even just like the 2 weeks that I didn't work on saws, I feel a little rusty. It's nice out here though. There is a lot of wind, but it's not a super cold wind. So gasket maker, and so this is what the muffler looks like now. I opened it up here, just kind of leveled it off, and then I opened it up completely from the outlet port. I don't know, just opened it up. Pretty good, really good. It's gonna have a lot of airflow, so definitely gonna need a good tune. These run CMR6H plugs. At least that's what I run in my saws, or customer saws, NGK. Little dust cover. So these pretty much, they're slightly different design, but these, these are basically like taking apart a Echo 2511T. They're pretty easy. I still need to put my Echo back together. And I think, let's see, let's open this up here. I guess I actually didn't have to open this up. But just so you guys can see the inside of the molding inside the handle, linkages, and how everything is set up. So for this one, it wasn't necessary. These are good little saws for light pruning, but I think if I'm going to go for a saw this size, I'd still go for the 2511. Those 2511s are sweet. I like those a lot. Really all you need for those saws, open them up a little bit, maybe put a West Coast muffler on there, or the Egan straight pipe on there. That's what I run on my personal. The West Coast muffler is great. If you really want, you can port them, but that's all you need, and they're great saws. Gotta slide that spring out. Just be careful when taking off your handle, because there are lines that sit behind it. There we go. Really, I just need this out of place. Hey, we got Luca fan 327. Luca, much love, man. Happy Monday. Welcome back. Hopefully you're doing well out there. All right. So just kind of move this out of the way. Take off this little grommet piece. Slide it off of there. Oops. A couple T27s. Take off our little boot. I mean, the ports look great, but I think, like I said, I think I just went a little too hard on it, opened it up way too much. I think I think where the mistake is, I think I accidentally lowered the port too much. So we'll find out in a minute. Luca fan says, my birthday was the 27th of March. No way. Dude, happy birthday to you. Mine is the 26th, so you're right after me. And now I'm noticing the 327. That makes sense now. Dude, happy birthday to you, man. Well, late birthday. Hopefully you had a great birthday with family, friends, loved ones. That's freaking awesome. Another Aries. All right, let's go ahead and disconnect the coil. Boom, get that out of there. Okay. Disconnect the impulse. We should be able to just slide this thing out now. there something else? Let's see. Oh yeah, this one right here. Okay. This one, this screw threw me for a loop the last time too. There we go. Now it just slides right out. Let's put this off to the side. Well, actually, get our coil out of there. So it's not free porting, so I didn't lower the port at all. Huh. Maybe I widened the intake too much. Which really a lot of the times you don't have to really go too hard on the intake side. At least that's what I've kind of been told and what I understand. But you see, so the piston is at top dead center, and you can see where the piston, you can still see the wall of the piston there, or the skirt. So maybe that's what's causing the issue. Huh. All right. We got the Waffle in the house. Waffle, happy Monday, welcome. Waffle says, or is asking, something broke down. So no, this one was a running chainsaw. It's a steel 151 TC, little top handle, great little saw for light pruning. And it came to me, this is my buddy Jason's 151. He brought it to me to get ported, and I think I made a mistake on porting it. When I was porting it, I think I made a mistake on the intake ports here. I think I may have opened them up too much, which really, I should already know better, that you don't have to really open up the intake at all, or if, you know, or not too much. It really, it's, I don't know, everybody ports a little differently, but usually I don't mess with the intake. I just kind of texture it up a little bit. I just kind of, well, I usually follow Aaron's advice, Aaron Lynch. And thankfully he was around when I was porting my buddy Fernando's 500i. I was getting ready to do the intake port, and I was gonna just try to open it up, but he's like, really just kind of give it a nice little texturing, kind of maybe a little, slight touch up, but nothing major. And thankfully I did follow his advice, because it ended up being successful. But with this one, I just opened it up a lot. Again, I didn't follow my less is more rule and found myself with the problem. So now we're just replacing the top end on this. The piston is fine. It's in good condition. It's good, but I'm gonna just replace everything. Just put everything brand new. Hey, I told my buddy Jason, I was like, so do you want me to port that one up too? And he's like, honestly, man, he's like, it's just fine, he's like, let's just leave it like that for now. And I did tell him I made a mistake and I went a little too hard, and that was the only problem, is because I went a little too hard, meaning I opened it up way too much. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the intake side where I made the mistake. And he's like, look, man, just leave it regular. And I was like, all right, man, but anytime you want me to try again, I'll do it for you. All right, Luca, much love to you, man. Have a good day. Hope you have a good week. I told him, though, I did modify his muffler very nicely. So either way, it is going to perform a little different than when he brought it to me. It's going to sound a lot better. So, but for now, I'm going to replace the whole top end. So piston and cylinder. Hey, we got Double O in the house. What up, my friend? Welcome. Happy Monday. Says assembling the 151 today. Yes, sir. So, I just tore it down, pulled out the top end and the crankcase, and we're going to give it a new top end. So piston, cylinder. I think the base gasket might be fine. Actually, I don't even see the base gasket. Anyways, new base gasket and go from there. And hopefully it will all be good. We got RY in the house. Says what happened to a chainsaw motor. So made a mistake when porting it. I want to say that I opened up the intake ports a little too much, possibly, and I didn't lower the exhaust port, so it doesn't have any free porting, which is good. But I think the problem's going to be on the intake side. I just went too hard on the grind. I didn't really follow my less is more rule on this one, and really though, I just remembered that I actually didn't use the base gasket. I tried to do the whole the whole base gasket delete, so that could have also been an issue. So this time I'm going to put it all back together with the brand new piston, cylinder, base gasket, and go from there. So, because the man needs his chainsaw. We got Steel Fixer in the house. Welcome. Happy Monday. Just give me 1 second, guys. Love you. Stop it. You still want this open or closed? Okay. All right. So one thing that I remember is that I didn't use the base gasket. I just hit it with some gasket maker. So maybe it was because maybe the problem of it not running or starting is because I didn't use the base gasket. So now I kind of want to mess around, install the base gasket, because I did get a new one when I got the top end. I got the base gasket because right now I'm just remembering that I didn't use the base gasket. I just hit it with some gasket maker, like I said. So maybe that's what's causing the issue also. So what I kind of want to do is mess around, install the base gasket, try to turn it over and see if it turns over, and go from there. Because the ports actually are really good. They're really nice, really wide. I really widened up the exhaust port. Didn't lower it. It's not free porting. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe that's where I went wrong. So, oh, I just felt some raindrops. Well, that's not good. Oh man, it's starting to. Oh. It's raining. Oh, that's not good. RY says, so did it end up seizing? No, it didn't. It's not seized. It's perfectly fine. It's just, I'm not sure what exactly is the mistake. I really think I went a little too hard on the intake ports, opening them up. But I'm also wondering if the mistake that I did was not using the base gasket and just using gasket maker. So maybe it's causing problems with the squish band. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Dolo says just idea. How about buy a cheap, not OEM parts and find a peak point porting it, even if exceeds it's cheap. I never did it before, but I thought a cheap $7 top end for blower, and I really want to try. Yeah, I could do that. I wouldn't leave it in there though, just because these guys, my guys, everybody that brings me saws, they use their saws for work. So, but yeah, I mean, just to try around, just to do some R&D. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Hey, we got Grayson Nichols in the house. My friend, welcome back. Okay, let's go ahead and get a move on this because it is literally raining now. Man. Let me open up the umbrella. Okay, I gotta work quick now because it's raining, and the umbrella will be fine for a while, but eventually it gets wet and starts puddling. So let's just give it a try. Let's just put the base gasket in there. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's not so much the ports. I think it's still the intake ports, but the squish or the base gasket, I know some I think it's just the gasket, but it really it plays a factor for sure. A lot of people will do base gasket delete, and it's not just as simple as getting rid of the gasket. It's a little bit more to that. And this saw does not take very long to put back together. I mean, so I think I'm gonna just mess around, put the base gasket in, and try to turn her over and see what it does. Oh. I also need the choke lever because I still have it at the house and in the shop where I used to work in. So there it is. A lot of carbon buildup on that. It'll be all right. Quite a bit of gasket maker in those transfers too, actually, now that I'm looking at. So that could have also been causing issues too, clogging up the transfers. So looking back at this job, kind of some sloppy work, not gonna lie to you guys. I'm looking at it now. Maybe I was a little bit in a hurry. The actual cylinder work came out good. I mean, it's clean. It doesn't look wild or nothing, but this gasket maker is all over here. It's not good work. Definitely not my best work, I will admit. But again, it's all a learning process, and That's why if I don't have the time to take my time on something, I won't even start it because I don't want to rush. But in this case, I didn't follow that rule either. So there's the new base gasket. Okay. Woo. It'd be windy. All right. And even though I may have to take this apart again, 00 says chilly weather. Yeah, man. So I did get the new spot. It's basically a storage unit. Well, that's what it is to work in, but I still haven't moved in yet. It is going to be a little tricky to work on stuff there because they're strictly just, you know, no hanging out, just storage only, but they'll probably bend the rules a little bit. Okay, so we're at a Loctite. At least the red. I have blue. And even though I may have to take this part apart again, just in case I don't, I'm going to put the Loctite in there now. Because just in case, like I said, it could have easily been the base gasket. All right. So we got someone from Russia, I believe. It looks like we got Luca Fan back in the house. Hey, we got Joey Bag of Donuts, aka RPM Nitro. Says, what up, y'all? What up, Joey? But our friend from Russia, I don't know how to read Russian. I think it's Russian, but much love to you with the thumbs up. We got Kumari. Hello, hello. We got Metahan Kartal. Hello, hello. So 00, I'm not using any special Loctite. I'm just using the red Loctite. It's just, you don't need any special type of Loctite. You could either use the blue or the red. I personally like the red, but the blue is just fine. But at the end of the day, something's better than nothing. We got Chris V from Ontario, Canada. Much love to you. Greetings from Turkey. Hello. All right. So let's just go ahead and give this a try, man. Because, you know, some may think, I'm telling you, you know, it may not seem like a... may not seem like a crazy thing, but it does affect it. All right. So let's just give it a try. One, two. Oh, there's a third one. Okay. Double O says, I also use the green stuff from Loctite to glue bearings to engine. Yeah, the green, I mean, the greens, I've never used the green, but again, something's better than nothing. But for these applications, I feel like the green and blue is perfectly fine. Kumari says, I liked and subscribed. Kumari, appreciate the love and the support. Oh, you know what? I should have put the... the coil back through, because it feeds through the... Interesting. Okay. Huh. Okay, so let's put the coil in. I believe this goes in like so. Yes. So it goes in like this. Okay, so that's fine. This part sit. Like so. So I wonder if okay. Because those two are for one. So is there 3 of these? Let me see. So now I'm getting kind of confused. Okay, so there's 3. Okay, cool. Cool. I'm getting kind of excited now. No guarantee that it was the base gasket, but I'm sure that was causing some issues. Because you can do... Oh. What? Oh, I see. Oh, so those don't even go there. Wrong screws. Not that it's an excuse, but I don't ever really work on 151s. But then again, it's been a minute since I've seen this saw, so excuses. Okay, so these are the screws. Okay, oh, I see. Okay, so that one doesn't go into that. So it's one of these screws. And then this one goes up here. Okay. And then this one. Goes through the AV. Okay, now this makes sense. Okay. Slightly amateur hour. It's all right. Maybe it goes here. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Right. Double O is asking, do you fix carbs or just put a new one in a saw if something's wrong? It really just depends. I do rebuilds. Sometimes the rebuilds doesn't work. The metering diaphragm isn't always the fix. Sometimes maybe the needle valve is busted. You can do rebuilds, but it really just depends on what the customer wants and how old the saw is, and but I do everything. Rebuild them, put new ones in. But sometimes it's cheaper to get a brand new one, just factoring in labor and all that. So, and it just depends on how expensive the carburetor is. But ultimately, it's up to the customer if they want to replace it or just put a new one in, or rebuild it, or put a new one in. Jeez, can't even talk. All right, let's put our coil in place. All right. And now let's connect our impulse. But how you been, Double O? How's the repairs on your end been? Hopefully staying busy. Hopefully you got some stuff to work on. But as long as you've been good, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. It'd be pretty sweet if this thing ran and it was just the base gasket missing. Even though I put the gasket maker, but maybe it was just not enough. Because like I said, you can do what they call a base gasket delete, but it's not as simple as just getting rid of the gasket. I mean, it is, but it isn't. All right. Let's go ahead and install the oil pump. Da Bears. I'm going to see if I could try to start this saw here just to see if it turns over and we get ignition. But, you know, so this is my girlfriend's house, my girlfriend and her sister's house, and it is an HOA community. So sometimes it's tricky. I mean, you can make noise, but it's just tricky sometimes. But I'm going to ask to see if I can just turn it over and see if it turns. If not, I'm going to have to wait to see if it does and go just down the street here to the open lot and give it a rip. Let's see. So I believe muffler. What's up, babe? Got the girl working from home today. Just kind of cool. I think this one goes here. That's what would make sense to me. Okay. Let's put the AV. Oh, whoops. Whoops. Worm gear. Now our cover. Double O says, I had 2 carbs today to clean and check. Bought some new seals for it. Hope it'll run good at idle. What is that for? A lawnmower, or what is that for? Because I know you do a little bit of everything. Which I'm excited because now that I have a different spot to store equipment, I'm gonna get pretty much into everything. Obviously, saws is still gonna be our number one, but if somebody wants to bring a tiller or a lawnmower, no ride-on lawnmowers, just push behind. If they want to bring by some generators, I mean, we're just gonna go ahead and do it. So I'm pretty excited about that. Weed eaters, trimmers. So that'll be kind of fun. Especially in the area that I'm at now. There's more equipment. Or there's just, you know, a lot of vineyards out here, so okay. Flywheel, where are you? There you are. Oh boy. So I'm just realizing something too. The flywheel key has been sheared off of this. So the reason probably why it wasn't starting also was because the timing is so off. So this thing needs a new flywheel. What? Oh, man. That's probably the problem. That was probably the problem the whole time. The timing was off. We got Andre Buckley in the house. Says how long it will last before a rebuild. For your Husqvarna 236 and my BG50, both run good at high RPM, but idle's bad. Gotcha. Andre's asking, how long will it last before a rebuild? We're talking the carburetor. Okay, so this thing needs a flywheel. So at this point, I can't even test it. Shit. So I'm at the engine. So it really just, I mean, it really just depends on how you run your equipment. How, you know, if you're cleaning your equipment, running good gas. Well, really, it's the oil that you're running too. I mean, basically, sometimes a machine or a piece of equipment won't even need a rebuild, as long as there's no scoring or piston damage. Every now and then your carburetor is going to need rebuilding just because fuel is really hard on the diaphragms, assuming that it has a diaphragm and all that, but like on chainsaws. But as far as the engine goes, I mean, you may never need a rebuild unless it just gets so worn out. You might have to, if anything, maybe replace the piston rings because those go out every now and then, you know, over time. But if anything, just the carbs always usually are the first ones that need rebuilding, as long as you're not scoring up the cylinder sleeve and piston and the rings don't get shot out. But it's really hard to say, like, how, you know, in how much time. Okay. So I need to order a flywheel for this. So I need to go into my job, into my where I work, because we're steel dealers, order this flywheel, and then because at this point it ain't gonna go. And you know, I think the key was probably damaged when I put it back together. I'm not sure how it would have sheared off. Maybe when I took the clutch off, because that's what I've been told, is that sometimes it's best to take off your flywheel first before trying to remove your clutch, because it could potentially shear off the key. Which, of course, I'm one of those that's going to say, well, I've never had any issues, but maybe that was something that I did wrong. Maybe this flywheel key just wasn't strong enough to withstand removing the clutch, and I didn't catch it. I don't know, but I think this is actually where my problem is, not the cylinder. Either way, that base gasket probably needed to go in there, but this is where the main problem is. I just caught that right now. So at this point, I'm not going to be able to test it until I get the new flywheel, hopefully this week, and that's pretty much it for now. There's no other way that I could really test this saw until, and that's probably why when I put the saw back together after I ported the cylinder, that's probably why it wasn't igniting, because the timing was so off that it wasn't good. And maybe this happened because it was getting spark before. So maybe this happened today. I'm not sure, but either way, this is not, and I don't have any extra flywheels that would work on this, I don't think. Do I? I mean, probably not, but let me see. Let me check. Hey, we got JC Lawrence in the house. Yo, lawn care. I don't know why I said Lawrence. My friend, welcome. Okay, so I don't have another flywheel. I thought maybe the one off of my 2511 would work, but that actually has an actual key, not a casted in key. So I'm gonna call over to the local power equipment place. Maybe he has one in stock. I highly doubt it. Maybe he does, because up until I get this, I'm not gonna be able to. And I really think that this was the issue. I just didn't catch it before when I originally put the saw back together, because the ports are good, nothing was lowered, nothing, I mean, widened up for sure, absolutely, but it would still run. I think maybe not very good, but I think this was the issue here this whole time. That's why it wasn't igniting. That's why it just wasn't starting at all. Because the timing was not right. So, and that's probably why it was acting weird. The rewind starter was acting kind of funky. I'm not sure, but either way. So that's That's where we're at. That's what I just right now noticed. Flywheels is a pain to work with. Tight clearance, often cracks when taking it off. So, and that's kind of what I said in one of my last streams. I think one of the last streams that we did at the shop where I was working at is that, just to minimize the risk of damaging the flywheel key, just removing the flywheel first and then removing the clutch, because that's what I've been told before from a mechanic that I used to work with at the power equipment shop where I started, is to, to just take off the flywheel first and then the clutch, so that way you don't run issues of it getting damaged. Of course, up until recently, I did have that issue taking off a flywheel from a 044. I sheared the key off because I was trying to take the clutch off and it was sitting there just torquing out. And now this 151. So from now on, mark my words here, guys, and just now you guys can see it firsthand. Just remove your flywheel first. Even if you're just doing clutch work, remove your flywheel so you don't run the risk of damaging the key and then having to spend more money to replace something that didn't need replacing. So just, it's another thing, learning process. So now this makes a lot of sense. So anyhow, so now we're at a standstill again. So my girl probably ain't gonna be too happy. She's gonna be like, do you even know how to work on those damn things? No, she's not gonna be like that, but she's not gonna be very happy, just because I'm not in a spot to be spending a whole lot of money right now. Still saving up for a place to stay. This is just a permanent temporary spot here with my girl and her sister, but again, gotta do what we gotta do. And yeah. LBV, what up? Happy Monday, man. Just realizing that, so putting together this 151 that I thought, and I still have to assume that I made a mistake on the cylinder when porting it, but I think the real problem why the saw wasn't starting is because the flywheel is damaged, the key is damaged, so the timing wasn't right, it was off. So I'm pretty sure this was the problem, and I think the way that this happened is I was from removing the clutch. That's why they say to remove your flywheel first and then the clutch, because you have a chance of shearing the key off when you're sitting there torquing it, So, and I've already had that happen to me in one other instance on a 044, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened here. So, and it was probably damaged when I put the saw back together after porting, and I just didn't catch the problem, or maybe it was halfway sheared off, so when I was out there cranking on it, it just basically just finished it off. And so I'm at a standstill until I get a new flywheel, and then I can do some testing. Maybe it was also because I didn't use the base gasket, I just used a gasket maker, so maybe that was also causing issues. Or maybe I actually did I may have actually made a mistake when I was porting when I ported the cylinder. But it's not free porting. I didn't lower the exhaust port from what I can tell. I definitely widened everything up pretty good, but either way, the porting may not be the problem. This is definitely a problem. So the great thing is, though, now the place that I work, being that we are steel dealers, I get a very good discount on everything in the store, including steel parts. For instance, like the new top end that I got for Jason's 151, I only paid about $65 for everything, compared to another place here in town that's strictly just a power equipment dealer. I was going to end up paying $75 before tax, plus the base gasket another like $5-6. So I was going to probably pay close to $90 more or less, and I got everything for the price of $65, top end and gasket. So I know we don't have flywheels in stock at my job, just because they don't keep much inventory or stock. Everything is special order, but there's a good chance he may have it in his shop. But So we're gonna have to just see where I can get this from. So anyways, guys, LBV says gotta love discounts. Yeah, definitely. So JC, so what happened here is the flywheel got damaged. The flywheel key, or the keyway, got sheared off, so it can no longer. I can mount it to the crankshaft, but what's going to happen is it's not going to sit in the groove, so it's not actually going to turn over the crankshaft. The timing is going to be totally off, so it's just not going to run or start. Which that's what's happening, is that it's not even starting. It's not even turning over. And I think the way that this got damaged is because I took the clutch off, and then I took the flywheel off, and that's the risk that you run. Taking the clutch off first is shearing off your key. And I think what was happening is maybe it was sheared off a little bit, and then when I put it back together originally and I went to go start cranking it over, it probably just finished shearing off the rest. And so I think this is going to be the main problem. I don't think it's actually the cylinder at this point, but again, I won't know until I get a new flywheel. And now we know, and now from now on, I'm not going to keep running the risk of taking off the clutch first and then the flywheel. I'm just going to take the flywheel off, then the clutch, and be good that way. And I think that's actually a good thing to do, even if you are just replacing springs or retainers or whatever you're doing. Just take your flywheel off first, because this is the second one already. So, and it's always one of those things too, you know, we get complacent and we're like, oh, you know, nothing's ever happened and blah blah blah, but that doesn't mean that nothing can happen. So, but now we're seeing that probably just better to just be safe than sorry. So anyways, guys, we're at a standstill now. At least you guys got to see more or less the teardown process, the reassembly process. We're not going to be able to do any testing today after all, until I get the flywheel. But once I do, we'll come back, check it out, and who knows, maybe it's just the flywheel that was causing the issue the whole time, and go from there. And now I need to call around and see who has a flywheel in stock, and I'm gonna have to pay some money, and my gal is not gonna be very thrilled about that, but shit happens. But yeah, so that's what we got going on. So lesson learned, and a good piece of advice to follow is just take off your flywheel first and then your clutch, and then you won't have any problems. So anyways, Danilo Ramos de Brasil, buenas tardes. So anyways, guys, so that's it for now. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us today, and hopefully learning a few little things, learning from my mistakes. That's why we're here. Part of why we're here, to learn from each other and share the journey and hang out. And but hopefully I can find a flywheel around. If not, I'm gonna have to just order one today, and hopefully it'll get here by the end of the week. And now I get to call Jason and say, hey man, actually there's one more thing. So, but that's all part of the game. So gotta just learn from our mistakes. And anyways, guys, we're out for now. We'll be back. I do have the day off from work tomorrow, so assuming that I can come out here and sit and there's no rain, we'll do another live stream. We're gonna go ahead and do a piston replacement on Alonso's 440, clean it up, and then hopefully the rewind spring will show up tomorrow or Wednesday. I need to check the tracking on that, and go from there. So 00 says, man, learning is part of the process. No mistakes are made. If you don't do anything, it was good to see you. Yeah, man, it's all, you know, part of, yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, we could sit here all day. I could sit here and be like, oh man, like pissed off and upset. But at the end of the day, well, just got to be more careful. Gots to be more careful. So, and that's it. Just got to learn, you know, because if we're not learning, then I don't know. Then we're not learning. So, but hopefully we can minimize learning the hard way. So that's it. LBV says, pleasure watching you, brother. My friend LBV, everybody watching, much love to you guys. Happy Monday. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. If all goes well, weather permitting, most importantly, and that we make it to see tomorrow, we'll see each other tomorrow, and go from there. I'll have some updates on the Flywheel, and who knows, maybe I'll have a Flywheel today. That'd be kind of cool. So, but we'll see what happens. But for now, much love to everybody, and catch you guys on the next one. Laters.